for you. Now, you are coming off, a number of issues that you had to deal with. I'm not going to drag those issues into this conversation. We all know what you went through. You've discussed it. And now it's the start of a new future. Not necessarily a new Chael, but just your road is starting again. You came off a situation where you were about to capture the championship belt from Anderson Silva, which got caught in the triangle in the last few seconds. I love your comments on the triangle. You can go off on that as much as you want. We'll get into that about Anderson in a second. But now you're coming back. I missed the fact, because I was really, really hoping, Chael, that at UFC in Brazil, it was going to be you and Anderson. And I guess the timing wasn't there. You're going to be having a fight with a man I truly respect tremendously, both as the man for what he served in our military and as a fighter. You're fighting Brian Stann. And one thing I noticed, on the stage, you were going off, and I'm looking forward to it on this conversation, the comments you make about the Portuguese, the Brazilians, Anderson as a person, and all that. You showed tremendous respect for Brian Stann, even humbly saying that you could possibly lose the fight, which shows tremendous respect for the fighter because you know you're going to be in a fight on that fight. Why is it that you show that respect to Brian, but the respect does not come out for Anderson and some others I could mention? But let's just deal with the Anderson-Brian Stann combination. Well,
comparison. It is what it is, as the kids say. Look, I don't manufacture conflict. I don't try to sell fights or talk trash or hype anything. I hear those things said about myself. I see people constantly attempt to imitate me. But that's not what I'm doing. I don't make anything up. If I don't mean it, I won't say it. Apparently in the fight business, you're allowed to say things that you don't mean to sell fights, and I hate that concept. I can't tell you how dishonest I find that. Look, we saw Josh Koscheck take on St. Pierre. I've known Josh Koscheck 13 years. He's got my full support. He's a friend of mine. If I had the ability, I'd have fired him after the St. Pierre fight, and not because of the beyond atrocious performance he put on, but the fact that he built the fight up, he hyped it, and he grabbed the microphone and tells everybody, hey, I didn't mean that. Somewhere in fighting, that's okay. That is a fraudulent criminal act, in my opinion, Bruce. Mm-hmm. You can't do that anywhere in society. Could you imagine going in and buying a car and having the car salesman tell you 10 different great things about the car and why you should buy it, and as soon as you put your money down, he tells, hey, none of that was real. I was only kidding. I was just trying to get you to buy the car. You would be furious. You'd march into the Attorney General's office. You'd have the guy's license revoked. You'd probably get a refund. But somewhere in the fight world, it's okay to make things up. And I would never do that. Look, if I don't mean it, I won't say it. I've never issued an apology, and I've never said one thing that I didn't mean. I'm not going to go out and manufacture a conflict against Brian Stann. He's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. He's a former world champion, and he and I need to compete with each other. I'm the middleweight champion of the world, and Dana White and I together have deemed him the number one contender for my championship. So I will give him his opportunity on October 8th. That's it. And win or lose, we will shake hands, and we will carry on life as men and as friends. And that's just the way it goes. So, I don't do that for Anderson because I don't feel that about Anderson. I don't like Anderson Silva. I don't like any of those Black House guys. I don't need to explain my reasons, and I don't need to apologize for it. If they got a problem with it, we can settle it. We can settle in the people's forum, the octagon.
I agree with you because that's where it's all put on the line and that's where it is decided. Let me ask you a question. I got to pick you up on something. You're saying that you and Brian Stann are going to be fighting for your championship. Now, with respect, are you saying that's because you see yourself as the champion because of your fight with Anderson Silva that you lost in those last few seconds, or what are you exactly referring to? I gather
that I lost. And what parallel scoring system do you punch a man 300 times? He hits you 11 times, wraps his legs around your head for 8 seconds, and they declare him the winner. That doesn't make you a winner. In no form of society, from the jungle to the streets, does that make you a winner. I'm the people's champion. I'm the linear champion. I'm the best middleweight there's ever been, and I am the UFC's true champion.
Now, I am not going to dispute what you're saying, except for the factual point of the matter is that you did tap, and in our sport, tapping means that the fight's over.
Now, allegedly.
That's what I'm asking you. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Chael. That's what I'm asking you. Are you disputing the tap? Because I never heard about this. Are you disputing your tap?
What I can tell you, Bruce, is that belt around Anderson's waist is no more than a piece of tin.
If that's the case,
I am the champion.
If that's the case, then, because I can't wait to see you fight Brian. I think it's going to be an amazingly, tremendously entertaining and a fierce, fierce fight between you two men. But what you're saying right now, and I know everybody out there wants to see it, I don't know of anybody that does not want to see you fight Anderson Silva again. What happens after this fight? Do you feel that Dana's going to give you that fight with Anderson as his next bout? Has that been even communicated, or how do you see this happening? Let's just say you come out to fight the winner. Where do you see happening after that? Is it mandatory you have Anderson, or are you going to just be PO'd if it goes any other way?
Well, Dana and I are at a crossroads there. Dana wants this to be a number one contenders match and wants me to fight for the championship. And I don't have anything against fighting my friend Yushin Okami, who will be the champion by then. But I have unfinished business with Anderson Silva. So for me, what I am lobbying for is win or lose, I will fight Anderson Silva next. Anderson will be working his way back up, or I should say working his way down. And I'm going to grab him and beat him up anyway, just for laughs, just on principle, Bruce. Just for my sheer entertainment, I'm going to go slap that guy around. I don't need his little tin belt. I'm already the champion. Gotcha.
I know. I'm gonna let you off a hook on the tap, and I understand your point, and I'm not going to argue that point because what's done is done. But I will tell you that when I think about the dream fights that I want to see, one of them, they both include Anderson Silva, okay? One of them is I'd love to see Anderson Silva fight John Jones at some time, not now, in the next 2 years. But I have to see you fight Anderson again. I've got to see it. As a fan, I have to see it. It goes beyond my work inside the octagon.